Welcome back. This video could change your life. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of iconic Roosevelt dimes, their value, design, shocking history, and hidden treasures. In this video, we'll explore the top 4 most valuable and ultra-rare Roosevelt dimes ever found in the United States of America, including 1979 D Roosevelt dime, 1978 Roosevelt dime, no mint mark, 1982 D Roosevelt dime, 1983 D Roosevelt dime. These coins may look ordinary, but don't be fooled. Roosevelt dimes are copper-nickel clad coins, and some rare examples show unusual red to dark brown toning, making them a prime target for coin collectors. Even dirty, worn, or heavily circulated dimes, the kind most people spend without a second thought, have shocked the world by selling for thousands, even millions of dollars in today's market. So before you spend that old dime in your pocket, stick around, because you might be holding a hidden fortune in your hands. Let's begin with coin number 1. Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts. Today, we are uncovering a story that could literally change your fortune overnight. We're talking about the 1978 Roosevelt dime, the seemingly ordinary coin that, under the right circumstances, could be worth millions of dollars. Unlike most coins you see every day, this dime has a story, a history, and a rarity that makes it a holy grail for collectors. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. It replaced the Mercury dime and was designed to honor a man who symbolized leadership, courage, and resilience during one of the most challenging times in American history. Over the decades, these dimes passed quietly through millions of hands, from cash registers to pockets, witnessing everyday life. But some coins carry secrets that remain hidden for decades until the right collector uncovers them. The 1978 dime with no mint mark is one of those rare, hidden treasures. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary. It's a copper-nickel clad dime, the same as every other Roosevelt dime from that era, and its age might have left it dirty, worn, or heavily circulated. But collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Some 1978 dimes display a rare red to dark brown color toning, a feature that occurs due to the unique chemical reaction of the metal over time. This subtle toning is not just beautiful, it signals rarity, uniqueness, and value. Coins like this, often overlooked for decades, have shocked the world when their true worth was revealed. The 1978 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is particularly special because it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and in certain conditions, it can be extremely rare. Slight differences in minting processes, the way the metal was handled, and the natural aging of the coin all contribute to its potential value. Even dimes that seem ordinary to the untrained eye can hide these unique features. Every scratch, discoloration, or toning variation can dramatically increase a coin's worth. In some cases, a single dime has been found to be worth tens of thousands of dollars, or even millions, depending on its condition and rarity. What makes this coin even more fascinating is the story it carries from the time it was minted. The late 1970s were a period of social change, economic uncertainty, and cultural evolution in the United States. Coins from this era, including the 1978 dime, were witnesses to history. Every dime passed through countless hands, telling silent stories of ordinary Americans' lives. And yet, decades later, these coins can suddenly transform into extraordinary treasures for those who recognize their value. Collectors and numismatists have long known that the 1978 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is a hidden gem, especially if it has unusual coloring or remains in decent condition despite circulation. The excitement surrounding such coins grows whenever one appears at an auction or is discovered in an old jar of change. It's not just a piece of currency, it's a time capsule, a tangible link to history, and a symbol of potential wealth that can astonish even the most experienced collectors. Even heavily circulated coins, often dismissed as worthless by most people, can contain features that elevate their value. The red to dark brown toning, subtle metal imperfections, or slight variations in design can turn an ordinary 1978 dime into a priceless artifact. Imagine reaching into a drawer, picking up a coin you've always ignored, and discovering that it's worth more than you could imagine, enough to transform your life overnight. That is the thrilling possibility that comes with owning a rare Roosevelt dime like this one. The 1978 dime story also teaches us about patience and knowledge in collecting. It's not about blindly searching for coins, but about understanding the history, spotting subtle anomalies, and appreciating the details. Each coin carries its own journey, from the Philadelphia Mint to countless hands across America, surviving decades of use, and now waiting for someone to recognize its true value. History, rarity, and the thrill of discovery combine to make the 1978 Roosevelt Dime without a mint mark one of the most captivating coins in American numismatics. Its story is a reminder that ordinary objects can sometimes hide extraordinary secrets, that history is alive in the most unexpected places, and that wealth sometimes comes in the smallest, most overlooked packages. So before you spend that old dime or toss it aside, stop and take a closer look. The 1978 Roosevelt Dime without a mint mark is more than a coin, it's a hidden treasure, a historical artifact, and potentially a fortune in your hands. Treat it with care, examine it closely, and remember that sometimes, the smallest things can make the biggest impact on your life. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating stories in the history of American coinage, the 1979 Roosevelt Dime, a coin that at first glance looks ordinary, but in reality, could hold a fortune in your hands. This small, copper nickel-clad dime is not just a piece of metal, it's a slice of history, a story frozen in time, and a target for collectors who know its hidden power. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime, in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man whose legacy shaped the United States during one of its most challenging eras. The dime's design, featuring Roosevelt's calm yet determined profile, has graced the hands of millions, passing silently from one pocket to another, witnessing decades of American history. While most dimes remain in circulation, some carry subtle secrets that can transform them into treasures worth unimaginable sums. The 1979 Roosevelt Dime is one of those rare gems. Minted at the Denver Mint, this coin in particular can occasionally display a rare red to dark brown coloration, caused by oxidation and specific chemical reactions in the metal over decades. While it may appear dirty, worn, or heavily circulated to the untrained eye, these imperfections can actually enhance its value. Every scratch, every discoloration, every mark tells a story, making each coin unique and highly sought after by serious collectors. Collectors are always searching for coins that stand out from the rest. A 1979 dime may seem like just another dime from the late 1970s, but in certain conditions, it can command prices that seem almost impossible. Coins that were once forgotten in drawers, jars, or old piggy banks have resurfaced to astonish the world. Some have been sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and the truly rare specimens have been known to reach the $1 million mark. Yes, you heard that right, a single dime, once spent without thought, could have turned someone into a millionaire overnight. What makes this coin truly magical is the story it carries from the Denver Mint, where it was struck. The minting process in the late 1970s was not without its quirks. Some coins received slightly different alloys, variations in striking pressure, or unusual toning during the cooling process. These tiny inconsistencies, almost invisible to the naked eye, are what make the 1979 dime one of the most coveted coins today. Serious collectors can spot these subtle differences instantly, and they know that even the smallest anomaly can multiply a coin's value exponentially. Over the years, the 1979 Roosevelt Dime has gained a legendary reputation. Many people dismiss it as just another 10-cent coin, but the truth is far more extraordinary. Some coins have been found in pristine condition, almost untouched by time, while others, despite being dirty or heavily circulated, have revealed rare characteristics that elevate them above the ordinary. The excitement in the collector community grows every time one of these coins appears at an auction, as everyone wonders, could this be the next life-changing find? History has shown that American coins often tell a story beyond their face value. The Roosevelt Dime, minted just a few decades after World War II and during a period of economic growth and social change, carries a silent testimony of its era. Every 1979 dime has passed through countless hands, witnessed moments of joy, struggle, and ordinary life, and yet some of these coins now have the power to alter someone's destiny. It's fascinating to think that a coin designed to represent leadership and service could eventually become a symbol of wealth and luck for a modern collector. Imagine finding one in an old drawer, a coin you never paid much attention to, and realizing that it is worth more than your yearly salary. That's the magic of the 1979 Roosevelt Dime. Its rarity, its unusual coloring, and its connection to history combine to make it a true treasure, capable of shocking the world. The thrill of discovering such a coin is not just in its monetary value, it's in holding history itself, in feeling a connection to the past, and in realizing that the ordinary can sometimes hide the extraordinary. Collectors who specialize in Roosevelt dimes know that patience and a keen eye are essential. Searching for these coins isn't just about luck, it's about knowledge, understanding subtle variations, and knowing the story behind every strike. Each 1979 D dime carries the potential for discovery, and for those lucky enough to recognize it, it could be the beginning of a fortune. The combination of history, rarity, and sheer potential makes it one of the most thrilling coins in the United States. So, before you spend that old dime lying in your pocket, think twice. The 1979 D Roosevelt dime is more than change, it's a time capsule, a collectible, and possibly the key to unimaginable wealth. Its story continues to captivate collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. In a world where ordinary objects can sometimes hold extraordinary secrets, this humble dime stands as a shining example of the magic hidden in plain sight. Hold on to it, examine it, and respect its legacy, because you might just be holding a fortune in your hands. Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin collectors. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of one of the most valuable and shocking coins in United States history, the 1982 D Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it may look like just another dime, quietly sitting in a pocket or forgotten in a drawer, but this little piece of metal holds a story, a history, and the potential to change someone's life overnight. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. It was designed to honor a man whose leadership, courage, and compassion helped guide the nation through difficult times. Over decades, these dimes circulated in millions of hands, often unnoticed, yet quietly witnessing the unfolding of history. Among these countless coins, some carry hidden secrets, rare characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. The 1982 D dime is one such coin, a coin that could be worth far more than its face value, potentially reaching hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars, depending on its condition and rarity. What makes the 1982 D Roosevelt dime so fascinating is its unique coloring. While most dimes appear silvery or gray, some examples of this 1982 D dime have developed a rare red to dark brown toning over time. This natural discoloration happens due to chemical reactions in the copper-nickel alloy and the conditions in which the coin has been stored or circulated. To the casual eye, it might look like dirt or wear, but to collectors, this toning can make the coin extremely desirable and significantly increase its value. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which, like all mints, has had subtle variations in coin production over the years. Small differences in the striking process, metal composition, or even minor errors during minting can create coins that are uniquely valuable. The 1982 D dime, with its unusual coloration and potential minting anomalies, is a prime example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can become a treasure. Collectors often search for these unique characteristics, knowing that even a small variation can make a coin worth far more than its face value. History also plays a key role in understanding this coin's value. The early 1980s in America were a time of change, economic uncertainty, and cultural evolution. Coins minted during this period were circulating in a society witnessing dramatic transformations, and the 1982 D dime was quietly part of everyday life. Every scratch, every mark, every toning variation carries a story of decades of circulation, making it not just a coin but a living piece of history. What makes this coin truly extraordinary is the potential for discovery. Many 1982 D dimes were spent, lost, or ignored, but some survived in unusual conditions, resulting in rare and valuable examples. Even coins in dirty or heavily circulated condition can sometimes contain characteristics that make them priceless to collectors. The thrill of uncovering one of these rare dimes is unmatched. Finding a coin that appears ordinary but is actually a hidden fortune is every collector's dream. Over time, the 1982 D dime has become legendary among numismatists. Its combination of historical significance, rare coloration, and subtle minting variations make it one of the most sought-after coins from the 1980s. Auctions have shown that even small differences in color or wear can dramatically affect its value. A coin that might look unremarkable to most people could be worth tens of thousands or even millions, making it a symbol of hidden opportunity. The excitement surrounding the 1982 D Roosevelt dime is also fueled by the stories of those who discovered them. Imagine reaching into a jar of old coins, pulling out a dime, and realizing it is worth a fortune beyond imagination. That is the magic of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the possibility that an ordinary object can transform someone's life overnight. Collectors know that success comes from knowledge, patience, and a keen eye. Spotting the subtle differences in a 1982 D dime, appreciating its historical context, and understanding its toning and condition are essential skills. This coin is more than currency, it is a testament to American history, the evolution of minting, and the timeless fascination with hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. So, before you ever think about spending a 1982 D Roosevelt dime, pause and take a closer look. This coin is more than a 10-cent piece, it is a historical artifact, a collector's dream, and potentially a fortune in your hands. Its story is a reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary objects can hide the most extraordinary secrets, and that fortune can appear where we least expect it. Every 1982 D dime carries with it decades of history, mystery, and the potential to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts. Today, we're uncovering one of the most shocking and valuable coins in United States history, the 1983 D Roosevelt dime. At first glance, this small, copper nickel-clad coin may seem like an ordinary dime, the kind that passes through countless hands every day, forgotten in pockets, jars, and drawers. But this dime carries a story, a legacy, and a rarity that makes it a target for serious collectors, and if you're lucky enough to have one, it could change your fortune overnight. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man whose leadership and compassion shaped a nation recovering from war and hardship. Over decades, this dime became a constant companion in American life, circulating silently from one hand to another, witnessing history in the quietest of ways. But hidden among millions of ordinary coins, there are exceptional examples, coins that tell a story, that have endured the test of time, and that are worth far beyond their face value. The 1983 D dime is one such coin, and its story is nothing short of remarkable. What makes this coin extraordinary is its rare red to dark brown color toning, a natural reaction in the copper-nickel alloy over time. While most dimes appear silvery and dull, some of these 1983 D coins develop striking hues, making them immediately recognizable to collectors. To the casual observer, the coin may look worn, dirty, or unremarkable, but to someone who knows its secrets, this coloring is a signal of rarity, uniqueness, and enormous value. Every subtle shade tells a story of decades in circulation, of chemical reactions with the environment, and of the coin's journey through time. The D mint mark signifies that this dime was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility with its own unique minting characteristics. Slight differences in striking pressure, metal composition, and cooling methods during production can make individual coins stand out. The 1983 D dime, especially in rare toning or unusual condition, is a perfect example of how small variations can produce tremendous collector value. Even coins that appear heavily circulated can sometimes hide these subtle traits, turning a coin worth 10 cents into a treasure worth thousands, or even millions of dollars in today's market. History also gives this coin its mystique. The early 1980s were a period of dramatic change in America, marked by economic shifts, cultural transformations, and technological advancement. Coins minted during this period, like the 1983 D dime, quietly witnessed everyday life, passing through hands in homes, shops, and banks. Each mark, scratch, and tone carries a silent story of the people and places it has touched. The coin becomes more than money, it is a living artifact of history, bridging past and present in a way few objects can. Collectors know that the 1983 D Roosevelt dime is not just valuable because of its mint mark or coloring, but because of its rarity and the thrill of discovery. Imagine finding one in a jar of old coins, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer. To most people, it might be just another dime, but for a collector, it could represent life-changing fortune. The excitement comes from recognizing the coin's potential, understanding its history, and realizing that even a dirty, heavily circulated dime can hide priceless characteristics. The legend of the 1983 D dime grows with every story of discovery. Auctions have shown that coins with unusual toning, minting anomalies, or exceptional condition can fetch eye-watering sums, surprising even seasoned collectors. What seems like an ordinary coin to one person can, in the right hands, be a ticket to unimaginable wealth. Its story reminds us that treasures often lie in the most unexpected places, and that fortune can be hidden in plain sight. This coin also teaches an important lesson for collectors and enthusiasts: knowledge and patience are key. Understanding the history of the Roosevelt dime, spotting the rare red to dark brown toning, and recognizing subtle minting variations are what separate ordinary coin holders from those who uncover true treasures. Each 1983 D dime has a journey from the Denver Mint, through decades of circulation, and now into the hands of someone who may recognize its full value. Even heavily worn or dirty coins can be immensely valuable if they possess the right characteristics. The 1983 D Roosevelt dime proves that history and value are not always obvious, and that small objects can hold extraordinary potential. The thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the chance to hold a piece of the past in your hand make this coin a symbol of both wealth and legacy. So, before you ever think about spending or discarding a 1983 D Roosevelt dime, pause and consider its story. It is more than a coin, it is a historical artifact, a collector's dream, and potentially a fortune in your hands. Its history, rarity, and unique characteristics make it one of the most captivating coins in American numismatics. Every 1983 D dime carries decades of history, mystery, and the potential to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, and possibly, your life forever.